Good day, viewers. Welcome to Fito Stories. Thanks for tuning in to our station, our channel. Thanks so much. Today we are learning vowels in Yoruba language. We call it Faweli Yoruba. Ìró Faweli Yoruba. Yoruba language is one of the major languages spoken in Nigeria. Nigeria is in West Africa and it's majorly spoken by people from the western side of Nigeria. So we have two major types of Yoruba vowels. Ìró Faweli, ó pín sí méjì. I'll be code mixing. I'll talk in Yoruba language since the tutorial is basically how to know more about Yoruba vowels, and I will also talk in English language just to interpret what I have said. Ìró Faweli pín sí méjì. We have two types of Yoruba vowel, two major types. Faweli àìrọ́múpè, that's the first one, which is Faweli àìrọ́múpè. The second one, ìkejì, second means ìkejì in Yoruba, is Faweli àránmúpè. I will explain the two, then we'll move to the lettering of Faweli àìránmúpè and Faweli àránmúpè. Faweli àìránmúpè, they are ordinary vowels. You don't need the nasal sound before you can pronounce it. It can be pronounced on its own. There is no sound in it. But Faweli àránmúpè, the one in which there is a nasal sound in it, you need it in order to pronounce it very well. They are not ordinary vowels. And in its pronunciation, that's for the Faweli àránmúpè, you will talk as if mucus is in your throat for you to get it very well. You just have to put that nasal sound in it before you can get the correct pronunciation of the Faweli àránmúpè. So we look at the examples of the letters that are in Faweli àránmúpè and Faweli àìrọ́múpè. For the first one, which we treated in this episode, we have Faweli àìrọ́múpè, that is, the vowel sounds, the letters and the sounds that we don't add the nasal sound in it, and we don't need to portray our mouth in the sense that we want to there's a blockage in our throat. No, there's no need. Those ones are ordinary vowels and they are free to be called without the nasal sound. So we have a, e, I, o, u. There are 7 in number. 7 in Yoruba means méje. So let's call it together. A, e, I, o, u. That's very good. Thanks for calling it. So we are going to pick these vowels one after the other with examples and illustrations so that we get it better. But before that, Let's pronounce the Faweli Arunmupe. There are 5 in number. 5 in Yoruba, we call it Marun. So let's pronounce it together before we go back to the other one, which is the ordinary vowels. Faweli Arunmupe. But this time around, this is Faweli Arunmupe. There's a blockage in our throat as we pronounce it. Let me pronounce it first, then you pronounce it after me. A, E, I, U, A, E, I, U, So pronounce it. Good. A, E. Very good. You're trying. I, So that's for the Faweli Arunmupe. The vowel sounds we call in Yoruba language with a blockage in our throat, and with the and by including the nasal sound. So let's go to the examples of Faweli Arunmupe. That's the first one that we treated. Those vowels that were 7 in numbers that we called out the first time. Faweli Arunmupe. You will notice that there is no this one is 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 no So from the first picture, you can see a dog. Okay, so dog in Yoruba, we call it Aja. Aja, and you notice that we pronounce A first. So A for Aja. In fact, the first letter is A, the last letter is A. It's in 2 ways. Aja, dog. The second illustration we have here is a chair. You can see a chair. So aga, aga is chair. In Yoruba language, it is aga. In English language, it is chair, what we sit on. Aga. Aja, dog. Aga, chair. The third illustration here, you can see a farmer displaying his agricultural produce. So, farmer in Yoruba, we call it Agbe. The A is still going to work in Agbe. A for Aja, A for Aga, A for Agbe. Agbe is a farmer. So in Yoruba language, we call it Agbe. In English, a farmer. We have other examples of A, several examples of A sound, but I'll just mention a few so that we can go to the next Faweli Yoruba. I've already mentioned A, Aja, A, Aga, A, Aja, dog, A, Aga, chair, A, Agbe, farmer. So look at another one down. Ashe. Ashe, that's a sieve, okay, that you can use to sieve pebbles or your food. You want the water to go out of it. That's Ashe in Yoruba, sieve in English. We also have Ada, that's Ada in Yoruba, cutlass in English language. Ashe, sieve. Ada, cutlass. It's an agricultural implement that we use for cutting weeds and grasses. Is not here, but I can still inform you about it. Ashe is different from Ashe. Ashe is this one, yea and amen. When you are being prayed for and you say Ashe, you are accepting that prayer and sealing it up. Ashe, amen. We have Adan, A-D-A-N. That's A and D and A and N. Àdán, that's a bat. Bat in English, àdán in Yoruba language. We have àṣà too. It's different from àṣẹ and it is different from àṣẹ. Àṣà, A-S-A. That is our culture, our beliefs, our norms. We call it àṣà. Àṣà Yoruba, the culture of Yoruba, the tradition of Yoruba, àṣà. So we are moving to the next one. We have a, e, I, o, u. So we are moving to a now. A is another Yoruba vowel sound. A jẹ́ ẹlẹ́kejì fáwẹ́lì Yorùbá. Ṣé mọ̀ wípé a ti kọ́kọ́ ṣe a. We have already done the one for a sound. Now the second one is a, and it is written as if you are writing e sound in English language. Ẹlẹ́kejì ni a. A máa kọ bí ẹni pé à ń kọ lẹ́tà e ní èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. So for the a, we have èje. You can see number 7 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Èje. So it is 7 in English. It is èje in Yoruba. You hear some people saying ẹlẹ́keje, that is at the 7th time. Èje. We also have èdè. Èdè is the crayfish that we have in English language. We call it èdè in Yoruba language. Èdè ni à ń pè ní èdè Yorùbá. Crayfish ni à ń pè ní èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. You can see it is written as ede. So it is èdè. The third example there, you can see the mighty elephants in the picture. Elephants in English language, erin in Yoruba language. We call it erin. So that erin still rhymes with our a. We have been studying from a, e, I, o, u. So we are in a now. Erin in Yoruba language for elephants. Elephants, the animal, the big animal in English language. We also have other examples of the a sound in Yoruba. Okay, we have already mentioned that we have èje, that's number 7. We have èdè, that's crayfish. Then we have èdè. Thank God this video, this content, without us speaking a particular language, there will be no communication. And it's also based on language. So language in English, but in Yoruba we call it èdè. Èdè, the kind of speech sound we speak out of our mouth, so we call it èdè. So the a is also going to be used here. Èdè ní èdè Yorùbá, language in English language. The last example that we have here is èlé. A for èlé. Faweli, A for èlé. Èlé means something that is an additional in English language, something that has been added to a thing. But in Yoruba language, we used to use it as it's more of a negative word. That is, you have a measurement that is supposed to be used, then you now added another one to it, which is not too fair on the part of the consumer. So we call it èlé. A, èje. Number 7, èdè. Èdè, that's for the crayfish. The intonation is different from èdè for the language. We have èdè crayfish, èdè for language. Then we have èlé for an additional thing. Then we also have gbé. When it's not here, the example is not here, that it has the spelling of G-B-E. We call it as gbé, that is carry it. Carry now. Carry that thing. Gbé, carry. So it's realized in the last sound. Gbe, A for gbe, A. So that is for the A sound. So we have treated A, A. Let's go to E. Now we are in the E sound. And as you can see a fish. From the picture you can see beans, you can see egg. In Yoruba language, this I can't say object now, they are food. And well, they are object, something to hold on to. This objects, this food, this delicious proteinous foods, they all carry the E sound. So let's start. The first one, ẹja. Ẹja, that is fish. In English language, ẹja in Yoruba language, it's carrying the E sound. You will notice that I put a dot at the back or at the tip, the end of the E sound. This is to distinguish or differentiate it from the A sound. We just finished A. Èdè, èdè, erin, èlé. Fine, they are both written in letter E, but they have different sounds they are carrying out if those words are being pronounced. For the A in Yoruba, we don't need a dot at the end part, but for the E, we need a dot to differentiate it. So E for ẹja. E for ẹ̀wà. In English, we call it beans. Okay, it's a very good food for us to eat because it will neutralize the carbohydrates in our body. If we eat protein, mix it up with carbohydrate, fat and oil, vitamins and the rest, it's going to result into balanced diet. That's not where we're going to. Let's go to the other E sound. So we have ẹja, we have ẹ̀wà, and we have the last one here, though we have other examples that I will still read for us. We have ẹyin, that's egg. Another nutritious proteinous food for us to eat and nourish our body with it. Ẹyin, it is egg in English language, ẹyin in Yoruba language. So let's look at other examples of the E sound. We have mentioned ẹja. We have another one, vitamins. I love it so much. Ẹ̀fọ́. Ẹ̀fọ́ is vegetables. In English, ẹ̀fọ́ in Yoruba language, very nutritious, very good for our body. You can see the dot too there. It is not ẹ̀fọ́. Ẹ̀fọ́, if we not put the dot, that means we are pronouncing that A, èdè, erin, èlé, that one that does not have dots. But if we can put our dot properly, it will make us to pronounce the ẹ̀fọ́ very well. E for ẹ̀fọ́ in Yoruba vowel speech sound. And it is spelled as EFO in English, but in Yoruba, you know it will be E, the one with dot, Fi, O. Okay, but let's just spell it as EFO. That's the vegetables. Then we have another example, ẹsẹ̀. Can you guess what ẹsẹ̀ means in English language? Okay, you can see the spell is directly after EFO that we spelt. This one is ESE. But if you are to put the S sound, it will be E-C-E. Okay, so we call it as ẹsẹ̀. Can you guess it? Okay, maybe you got it or not. I'll tell you the answer now. It is leg. Leg in English language. So ẹsẹ̀ in Yoruba is leg in English language, and it is also carrying the sound. In fact, we have like a double here, We have "ẹ" at the beginning, we have "ẹ" at the last part of the word of ẹsẹ̀. Let's go to ẹja, ẹ̀jẹ̀. "Ẹ", that's for the spelling E-J-E, but you know ẹ-j and ẹ again, E-J-E. When we are looking at the spelling from without applying the sounds, we call it ẹ̀jẹ̀ in Yoruba, but it is blood in English language. That red liquid, that is blood, and I believe blood is flowing in the veins of almost all, not even almost all human beings on earth. Without it, there will be no life. Okay, so we call it ẹ̀jẹ̀, blood in English language. Last example that we have here is ẹ̀pà, groundnuts in English language, ẹ̀pà in Yoruba language. We spell it as EPA. Okay, so the "ẹ" is being realized in the initial realization. So we pronounce the "ẹ" first before any other thing in the word ẹ̀pà. Ẹ̀pà is groundnut in English language, ẹ̀pà in Yoruba language, EPA. So let's move to another Faweli Yoruba. Okay, so another one we have is I. We have treated. Can you recount the ones we have treated? A, okay, correct. A, very correct. Ẹ, very good. Now we are moving to I. We have A, E, E, I, O, U. So we are in I now. And the I is so funny because if you see the letter, you think it is I in the normal, or looking at it, oh, this is letter I now. But the pronunciation is different. We pronounce it as I, I, I. So let's look at the examples. The first example we have here is igi. Igi, you can see we have like 2 trees in our illustration there. Igi means tree in English language. Igi, I-G-I. In fact, it's realized twice. First realization I, then last realization gi, I, igi, tree in English language. Ìwé, this is used in almost all schools. Ìwé, that is books. Ìwé, books in English. Ìwé in Yoruba language. The last one in our illustration is ìgbín. Another funny, quiet, slow animal, but very nutritious too. Ìgbín. It is called snail in English language. So we have it, the E sound is realized twice. It's realized at the beginning, I. It's realized at the middle, gbin, in, I, gbin. So that is snail, ìgbín in Yoruba language, snail in English language. So we have other examples. We have mentioned igi, tree. Now let's look at another beautiful example. Ìwà, that's character, your attitude. Character, it tells a lot about you. I-W-A, ìwà. Character in English, ìwà in Yoruba. We have another one that I don't really like. It's a little bit negative. Ìkà, I-K-A, but I don't have choice. I have to put it there as example so that we know we have varieties. We have the positive words, we have the negative words, and we have those that are neutral. They are neither positive or negative. So ìkà, it's not good to be wicked. That's a wicked person. I-K-A, ìkà. It's realized at the beginning. Ìkà. It's realized at the beginning of ìwà too. Ìwà, ìkà, wicked person. Ìjà, this is another negative word. Ìjà, I-J-A, fight. to fight, ìjà. We have iṣẹ́, I-S-E, work. What to do as your work. Iṣẹ́, job. It could also be job, J-O-B in English. Work, W-O-R-K in English too. Iṣẹ́, work or job in English language. We have another one that is a little bit negative. I guess we have some negative words in this E sound. And we also have the good words too. So, but this one we have ibi. That is evil. It's different from ika, wicked. Evil, ibi, evil thing, bad thing happening to someone. Ita, I-T-A, that's outside. Mo fẹ́ lọ sí ìta. I want to go outside. Outside in English language, ìta in Yoruba language. Anything that is not indoor, it's outside. Okay, for everyone to see, it's out already. Outside. Then the last one here, we have several examples, but because of our time, let's just treat these few ones. The last one here we have ìdọ̀tí. Oh my, I think I really gathered lots of negative words here, but it's good for us to know it so that when we say it outside or we hear it outside, we can be able to communicate well in Yoruba language. Ìdọ̀tí, I-D-O-T-I, that's dirtiness. The opposite of cleanliness. We have dirtiness. So ìdọ̀tí in Yoruba language, dirtiness in English language. Please, all these negative words, let's try and avoid it. Let's cling to the opposite, which is the positive words. The last, okay, it's not the last one. We still have more. We have treated a, we have treated a, we have treated e, we have treated I. We are in o, a, e, I, o. So the next one after this one will be o, then the last one u. So we are in o now. And as you can see, I can see an eye looking at me, a particular eye. So it's one, so we can't say eyes. If it's two, then we say eyes. So we have an eye staring at me, staring at us. Now, so ojú, you know we are in o now. So all our examples must carry the o sound. Ojú, O-J-U. It means eye in English language, ojú in Yoruba language. It's part of the five sense organ and it's for sight. It's our sight. It's for seeing rather. It's our sight and it's meant for seeing. Okay, so ojú, eyes. That's if it's true that you are making use of eyes, but it's just one eye. Let's go to the second example. You can see a drop of water from the second illustration, the second picture, the second image there. A drop of water on the floor, on the ground. That is òjò. That is rain. It could be heavy downpour. It could be just drizzling one, but it's still rain falling from the cloud, from the sky up there. So òjò in Yoruba language, the tiny drop of water from the cloud, we call it òjò, A-O-J-O, but it is rain in English language. The last illustration we have here is obi. That's, you can see a baby being carried by mother and cared for, touched by a father. So obi, that's parents, father and mother. So obi in Yoruba language is different from obi. Obi, that's for the kola nut, and it's different from obi in Igbo language, which is their king. This one is obi in Yoruba language, that's parents. Obi, parents. We are going to look at more examples of the o sound. Okay, so we have one here, ole, thief, somebody that steals things. Ole, O-L-E, thief. We have ori, O-R-I, shea butter. Shea butter. We use it so much for different purposes here in Africa, especially in Nigeria. You can use it for your hair, you can use it as cream for your body, you can use it to rub as ointment on your boil that is appearing on your skin. It has several purposes that we use it for. Ori, shea butter. Obi, we have mentioned Obi, parents. Then, oh, this one is a little bit on the sad note. We have Oku, that's dead body. Who is who will carry that Oku? Who will carry that dead body over there? Oku, O-K-U, Oku, dead body. So the last example here is Ori. You will notice it has the same spelling with Ori, shea butter. Ori means head in English language, Ori in Yoruba language, but it's not pronounced the same way. Just like in English language, we have homonyms, we have homophones, words that are spelled the same way but have different pronunciation. Some words are spelled the same way but have different meaning. So that's the same thing that is happening to Ori and Ori. So for the last one now, Ori, it is pronounced as Remi. Ori is pronounced as Domi. So the pronunciation is different but the same spelling. Without wasting time, let's go to the next one. Who can pronounce the next one for me? Okay, just try. We have A, E, I, O. We are in O now. Good, you got it. Very good. Or you will notice that it's having the same O, letter O with O, but O does not have dot at the tip. No, we have A and E. So we also have O and O. That's Faweli Yoruba for you. So we are in O now, and there's a dot at the tip end of that O, that letter O of O, to differentiate it from O, Ole, Obi. We are in O now. So let's look at the examples of O together. The first one we have here, we have Oja. Oja. You can see a group of people involved in buying and selling with their umbrellas on. That's markets, where we sell and buy things. So we have it as market in English language. We have it as Oja in Yoruba language. Or you can see there's a sign at the tip of the O, letter O, okay, to make it O for Oja. If you don't put that sign there, just like I taught you when we were treating A and E, it will be as if you are saying that the person fought. Oja, you know, for somebody to ja is to fight. So if you write O and J and A, it will be as if you are accusing someone, that like an accusation that Oja. But since you have already done the right thing by putting your dot at the tip, it has turned to Oja. That is market. So the next example is Obe. Obe, that is soup in English language. Obe in Yoruba language. You can see a plate of soup in our illustration. That's for the second diagram, for the second image rather. The last one here, we have Obe. Obe, you can see a knife and a fruit there waiting to be cut by that knife. Obe in Yoruba language, knife in English language. We have other examples before we go to the last Faweli. Let's look at other examples of O sound, or vowel sounds in Yoruba language. The first one that I can see here is Odun. Odun, that's a festival, a period in which, like, we have the Christmas period, we have Easter, then for the Muslim we all have Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Maulud, and the rest for other religion. We have a period in which you celebrate maybe the birth of those that we are following and seeing as our God. So the second one we have here is Oda. That's a paint. Oda, paint, for painting our walls, or maybe iron and the rest, or steel. A paint, we call it Oda in Yoruba. Then before I move to the next example, we also have Oda. That is it's not Oda. That is a period of drought where there is no rain for a long time in a particular place or city or town or village or area or geographical area. Oda is different from Oda. Oda is the paint. Oda is the drought, a period where there is no rain. And the next example is a positive one and a very good one. We have Oba. That's the king. Oba, a ruler with authority, with power, commanding a group of people, ruling over them. A traditional ruler. Oba, somebody that is has authority over a group of people that direct their affairs. This one here, the last example here, we have Owo. It depends on how you pronounce it too. You can see we have that our O sound is even realized twice here. O at the beginning of Owo, O again at the ending part of Owo, Owo. Then that means hand in English language. Our hands, it could be one of the hands, or our two hands together. Hand in English language. But before I go, please, we also have it as Owo. Again, some typical Yoruba people say, give me that Owo. That means they meant that you should give them that broom. Owo. It's also having dot at the tip of the two O, that is the two letter O in the word. Owo, broom. Owo, hand. Oba, king. Oda, paint. Odun, festival. So let's move to the next one, the last Faweli Yoruba that we are going to be treating in this video. If I may ask, who can give me the last Yoruba vowel sound? Okay, can you guess? We have treated A, E, I, O, dash. What is that dash? Okay, very good. You got it. Ooh, A, E, I, O. Ooh, that's the last vowel sound. That's for the Faweli. Àìránmúpè, we have U as the last sound, Yoruba vowel sound. So, and I noticed that this U sound is not it's not common for you to see it at the beginning, though we still have a few ones at the beginning. But most of the examples are towards is either at the middle or towards the ending part that the U sound is being realized. So let's look at the illustration that we have here. The first one is drum. We call it ìlù in Yoruba. The sound, the U is not in I, is not in Li for the L. It is in U, the last sound in ìlù. So it's at the end, ìlù, drum. In fact, you can even still say ìlú. That's for the village. Ìlú, dòmí, ìlù, dòdò. So the sounds are different, but the same spelling. Ìlú, I-L-U, for a village, your place of origin. Then ìlù for a drum, any kind of drum. Okay, so we refer everything as ìlù, drum. The second illustration we have here is yam. Iṣu, we call it iṣu in Yoruba, but the English is yam. Issue, ISU. You realize that the sound is not in E, it's not in sh, it is in U. Issue, issue, yam. It's a food that gives us energy. It's carbohydrates. It's very, we eat it so much in this part of Africa. We use it to pound, we can fry it and do different types of assorted food with it. Issue. The last illustration here is locust beans. Iru is not in E, it's not in Ru, it's not in R, it is in U, Iru. So we have the U sound in Iru. Yoruba call that object, that's the last one, as Iru. English people call it locust beans. Other examples of the U sound include Edu, that's charcoal, that black substance gotten from maybe a burnt tree. We use it here for cooking as source of fuel. Charcoal, Edu, Ebu, U. The sound is in U in Edu. It's also in U, the ending part of Ebu. That's an abuse. Inu, that's stomach or inside. U, the sound is in U for your stomach or your, that is maybe inu ile, that's inside the house. Inu ile, inside the house. Then we have Esu, that's the devil. Esu, Satan, devil. The sound is not in A, it's not in Sh, it is in U, Eshu. So the last but not the least example here is Ilu. That's, I think I've mentioned it earlier on. That's for the village or town. Village or town. Ilu. U. It's not in E, it's not in L, it is in U, Ilu. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. We have come to the end of Faweli Yoruba. That's for the Faweli Àìránmúpè. So you watch out for more of these unfitting stories. I'm going to also do another tutorial on Faweli Àìránmúpè, the one we will use, the one we will say out with our as if our nose is blocked. So watch out for it. Wishing you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Thank you so much. Watch out for Faweli Àìránmúpè on this same channel. Okay, and please subscribe to our channel. Watch all our videos. We have other tutorials that will be of interest to you to watch, and will it will help you in your development of English language and speech sound too. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.